Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared, not in triumph, but in mourning. The sleeper ship Vanguard Prime tore through the void, its hull shuddering as ancient systems ignited for the first time in centuries. I, Admiral Ryle Thorne, awoke to a world forgotten. Cryotubes hissed open, one by one, releasing the last human crew. Warriors bred from extinction, scientists born of desperation, and engineers whose hands once built Earth's final defenses. The ship's AI whispered the final logs. Earth destroyed, extinction fleets confirmed kill, status, total erasure. But they were wrong. We survived. And survival is an act of war. The stars haven't forgotten us, but they will learn to fear our return. The ship's AI, EVA-9, lit the bridge with red spectral light. Admiral Thorne, primary drive integrity, 67%. External scans detect no active constellations. We are alone. I nodded. That was the point. The kill fleets mapped only known routes. We were flung, intentionally, into the void. A last, desperate hope. I looked at the crest on my shoulder, the sigil of Earth, scorched. We are the last echo of a dead world, I said. Let's make it the first thunder of a new one. And with that, we set course, not for home, but for vengeance. We found it drifting between dead stars, a shattered station, blackened by energy burns. EVA-9 tagged it as pre-extinction architecture. We docked with caution. I sent Commander Vale and a recon team inside. Their comms flickered under dense electromagnetic haze, then static, then laughter. Not human, something else. "Admiral," EVA said, "this facility was transmitting until 2 hours ago." My gut turned to lead. A beacon or a trap? Either way, someone, or something, was expecting us. Inside, the team uncovered a memory shard sealed in a vault. A solid-state crystal pulsing faint blue. Vial brought it aboard, and I held it in my palm. Old Earth data encoding. Impossible. We decrypted it. A single phrase emerged. "They erased you. Not just your worlds, your history." My fists clenched. It wasn't just extinction, it was erasure. An entire species buried beneath engineered silence. But now we had proof. And with proof came purpose. We found her body in Cryobay 7, Dr. Asha Koren, cryogenics lead and architect of the Vanguard Sleeper Matrix. Her vitals showed she woke early, decades before us. EVA's logs confirmed she re-entered stasis voluntarily. Why? Her final note was voice only. "If they find this ship, don't let them erase it again. Don't wake them, until it's too late for the galaxy to stop them." My blood chilled. She knew. She planned this. We dissected her logs, layer by layer. Hidden beneath layers of encryption, coordinates. A black site in uncharted space. The logs called it the Anvil. Dr. Koren's contingency, her masterpiece, if we could reach it. "It may be our only chance to match what destroyed Earth," I told the crew. The room fell silent. Then Vial leaned forward. "If she built weapons like she built this ship, we'll burn a path through the stars." We changed course. The anvil hung in the dark like a knife waiting to fall. Spinal construction, automated defenses, a forge orbiting a neutron star. EVA integrated seamlessly, unlocking the inner core. Inside, the gift Dr. Koren left us. Project Thanatos. A blueprint for something terrible. "Admiral," EVA said, "this is no weapon. It's a fleet maker. Nanoforges, drone architects, AI command relays. All packed into one impossible system. She didn't just want vengeance. She wanted to replace them. We activated the system. Nanoforges screamed to life. Hull plates bent into form. Drones stitched circuitry like spiders weaving war. In hours, the prototype emerged, a strike cruiser black as void, capable of atmospheric entry and orbital annihilation. It bore no name. "We name nothing," I said. "Not yet." These ships weren't monuments. They were messages. Messages in flame, in steel, in silence. A dead world doesn't beg for memory. It takes it back, violently. The probe shimmered in our scope, non-human, angular, and ancient. We intercepted its signal. Low-band pulses, recursive. Then it shifted. "Unknown vessel, you are trespassing in Extinction Domain 17. Identify." EVA froze. "Signal architecture matches Extinction Fleet protocols. Admiral, they're still patrolling." I stood slowly. "Broadcast this." Static. Then my voice, iron-edged. "We are what you missed, and we are coming." The probe went dark. They would come looking. So we made sure they'd find something worth fearing. EVA flooded space with false signals, ghost fleets, decoy signatures, digital phantoms. Meanwhile, the Forge built a real war. We trained in darkness. We spoke Earth's languages and built weapons from its broken bones. Every system learned to mimic their tech, counter their AI, and rewrite the extinction code. They taught us Ash. But the flame remembers. The silence after the probe's disappearance was heavy, a waiting game in cold space. EVA ran continuous scans. No immediate pursuit, but sector lockdown protocols are active. We weren't just hunted, we were bait. The fleet that erased Earth still searched. But they underestimated one thing: patience. Commander Vale stood beside me, voice low. "They won't find us unless we want them to." I nodded, eyes on the dark beyond. "Let's show them why." The crew buzzed with nervous energy. Every technician, every pilot, alive because of a ghost story rewritten into a battle hymn. I walked the corridors to the training bay. Recruits sparred with simulated foes, their faces grim but determined. The legacy of Earth was etched in their eyes. Fire and ice, hope and fury. "We fight," I told them, "not to survive, but to return." Somewhere beyond the void, a fleet waited. We would be their reckoning. The shard we recovered pulsed with new data. EVA decrypted a fragment, a transmission buried beneath layers of cipher. The First War. The Architects. The Seal. Unknown factions beyond the extinction fleets. Entities that erased even the memory of humanity's war. Our tech assimilated alien cryptography. Every byte a puzzle. Was this a warning or a weapon? I ordered an all-hands analysis. The truth wasn't just hidden in space, it was buried deep in forgotten history. "If we can decode this fully," Vale said, "we might predict the next strike, or uncover their weakness." Late in the command deck, I stared at the starfield. "Our past isn't just a ghost," I said, "it's a blueprint, and we're about to build the future on its ruins." Suddenly, the bridge alarms screamed. EVA's voice clipped through the chaos. "Contact. Unidentified vessel. Signature unstable. Approaching vector aligns with our course." A ship materialized on the sensors, unlike anything we'd seen. Irregular geometry, flickering like a mirage. "Phantom tech," Vial whispered. "They're testing us." We scrambled fighters, but the vessel phased in and out of reality, dodging scans and attacks. I barked orders. "Keep them alive. We need to understand what they are." The vessel pulsed once, then sent a message. "You carry the spark. We seek the flame." Confusion rippled across the crew. Was this an enemy, a messenger, or a hint that the universe still held allies hidden in shadow? The vessel withdrew, leaving behind a data fragment. EVA worked feverishly to decode it. Inside, a message in ancient human dialect, long lost to time. "The Watchers remember. The seed awakens." Who were the Watchers? Who planted the seed? The more we uncovered, the deeper the mystery grew. This was no simple war of survival. It was a galactic game played with forgotten rules. Vile's voice trembled in the command deck. We're not alone in being erased. I clenched my fists. Then it's time to remind the galaxy who we are. Back at the anvil, the forge accelerated production. Strike cruisers multiplied, black shards designed for swift destruction. Pilots trained in zero-G combat simulators, learning to dance between stars with deadly grace. I inspected the newest model, a sleek vessel humming with latent power. This ship carries Earth's wrath, I told the engineers. It's not just a weapon, it's a promise. Vahel joined me, eyes sharp. We're not just fighting extinction fleets anymore. We're preparing to ignite a war that will remake the stars. The engines roared once more, not in mourning, but in defiance. The intercepted fragment glowed on EVA's holo display, a star chart overlaid with encrypted coordinates. Destination: unknown system beyond mapped space, EVA reported. Signal strength fluctuates but is consistent. I traced the route. A trap? Vile asked. Or a calling card? We prepared the vanguard for a jump, hearts heavy but resolve unshaken. If they wanted us to find this point, it was no coincidence. Whatever waited was part of the truth about Earth's erasure and our future. The jump was rough. Space folded like torn fabric around us. When we emerged, a shattered star system sprawled before us, dead planets, fractured moons, and a space station in ruin. The ghost of a war long past, frozen in time. We docked with the station cautiously. Its systems were ancient, barely humming, but EVA detected a core archive. Inside, data vaults contained fragments of Earth's history, images, logs, encrypted files, pieces of a puzzle that could rewrite everything. Vile uncovered a sealed file labeled Project Mnemosyne, a failsafe protocol designed to safeguard humanity's legacy, hidden from the extinction fleets. I listened as Vile played back a voice recording. It was Dr. Corrin's, urgent, desperate. If you hear this, know that history is a weapon. We must wield it wisely. Suddenly, alarms blared. The station's defense systems activated, automated turrets emerging from the walls. We had triggered a fail-safe. An old friend, or a hidden enemy, I mused. We fought through corridors of fire and shattered glass, fighting against cold machines programmed to erase all intruders. Vael coordinated our retreat, but the truth cut deeper. Someone had betrayed us before we even left Earth. In a flicker of static, EVA revealed a transmission from within our fleet, an encrypted message from an unknown source warning of internal sabotage. Trust no one, it said. Back aboard Vanguard, suspicion gnawed at the crew. I called a council. If betrayal hides among us, we must root it out before it consumes everything. Paranoia rippled like a virus. Alliances fractured. Vile approached me privately. Admiral, the deeper we dig, the more we realize this war is fought on two fronts, outside the ship and inside. We began monitoring comm channels, cross-referencing crew logs, searching for the invisible traitor. The silence in the corridors became a weight heavier than the void. The forge produced more strike cruisers, faster and deadlier. The fleet grew from a single ship to a shadow armada. But we had no time to celebrate. EVA detected distant fleets converging, a signal of war. The extinction forces were mobilizing. I stood on the bridge as the stars bled red. We are no longer running, I said, voice steady. We are the storm they thought was gone. Prepare for the battle that will decide the fate of humanity. The engines roared, this time a herald of war. Sensors flared. Multiple ships emerging from hyperspace, black silhouettes like vultures circling a wounded prey. The extinction fleet had found us. EVA's warning was clear. Engagement imminent. Tactical formations recommended. I ordered shields, raised, and weapons online. This is the moment we've trained for. We fight not just for survival, but for the right to exist. The void erupted in fire and light. Laser blasts carved through the darkness as the first salvo hit our shields. The battle for humanity's future had begun. We lured them near a collapsing neutron star, the vortex, an unpredictable weapon of nature. Their ships won't survive long in this field, I explained to Vale. We use the star's gravity against them. Drones swarmed, cutting enemy lines while our cruisers danced between gravitational eddies. The chaos disoriented the extinction fleet. One by one, their ships faltered, torn apart by tidal forces. But victory came at a cost. Vanguard Prime shuddered under incoming fire, systems failing fast. Damage reports poured in. Then, the worst. EVA flagged a sabotage in the engine core. Someone had disabled critical systems during the fight. The traitor was no longer a rumor. I convened the inner circle. If we can't trust each other, we will fall. We root out the saboteur now. Vile's sharp eyes scanned the room. The enemy is not just outside. Tensions flared. Accusations whispered in shadows. Trust was the rarest weapon aboard Vanguard Prime. The investigation led us to Cryo Bay 7, where Dr. Corrin's pod once was. But it was empty. Her emergency systems had been accessed recently. I ordered an immediate lockdown and scans for unauthorized life signs. A ghost in our midst, moving unseen. The ship felt colder. I stood alone on the bridge, staring into the starfield. Earth's memory was no longer safe. Our enemies were closer than we thought. Repairs underway, the fleet regrouped. New strike cruisers launched with fresh crews. We could not afford weakness. Vale reported intercepted communications, extinction fleets fractured, rumors of dissent spreading. Our return was shaking the foundations of their empire. I addressed the fleet. We are not the echoes of a dead world. We are the thunder that will shake the galaxy. Prepare to ignite the rebellion. The engines roared, this time louder and stronger. Our war had only just begun. New encrypted transmissions flooded our comms, ghost signals mimicking Earth's ancient broadcast frequencies. EVA's analysis was chilling. These weren't random. They were messages crafted to lure us into ambushes. Someone wanted to rewrite our path. Vial grimaced. They're playing with our memories. I stared at the star map. Then we'll use their games to break their lines. The decrypted signals led us to a hidden wormhole nexus, the Rift network. A gateway forgotten by time, it promised shortcuts through the void but came with dangers. EVA warned of unstable temporal fields and unknown entities lurking in the Rift shadows. We decided to take the risk. For speed, for survival, for the chance to strike before they could regroup. Crossing the wormhole, we emerged into a warped star system. Light twisted, time dilated. Systems faltered. Crew struggled against nausea and disorientation. EVA's systems adapted quickly, but something else was out there, watching. Sensors detected a massive object, an ancient battleship, derelict but functional. A relic of the old wars, Vial speculated. Or a warning. Boarding the derelict, we found relics of a forgotten human faction, logs detailing a brutal civil war that nearly destroyed Earth centuries ago. The faction's name, the Sentinels. They fought against the extinction fleets but vanished mysteriously. Their weapons cache and tech upgrades were a boon, but the logs ended with a dire warning. Trust no ally. The enemy wears many faces. Back aboard Vanguard Prime, the crew's morale wavered. Whispers of sabotage and betrayal grew louder. Command struggled to maintain order as factions formed. I convened the officers. This fleet will either be broken from within or forged anew. I choose the latter. Vial nodded grimly. We stand together, or we fall apart. The war for humanity was now a war for its soul. We recruited a new specialist, Lieutenant Mira Tao, a cybernetic codebreaker with a reputation for cracking the toughest encryptions. Her arrival was met with suspicion, but her results were undeniable. Within hours, she unraveled layers of encrypted data from the Sentinel's logs. "What we've uncovered could change everything," Mira told me. "There's a hidden protocol embedded deep in the Extinction Fleet's command AI, a kill switch disguised as a safeguard." EVA interfaced with the alien AI code, cautiously probing the hidden protocol. If triggered, it could disable entire sectors of the Extinction Fleet, an opportunity to strike at their core. But the risk was immense. A single misstep could alert them to our presence. Vile and I debated the plan. "It's a double-edged sword," I said, "but we have no other choice." We prepared a stealth team to infiltrate a forward command node, our best hope to activate the switch and turn the tide. Under the cover of darkness and subspace interference, the stealth team deployed aboard the enemy command station, a colossal structure orbiting a dying star. EVA hacked security protocols remotely, while Mira led the infiltration team. Inside, they faced automated defenses and hostile AI guardians. Every step was a gamble, but failure meant the end of our last hope. Reaching the core, Mira interfaced with the alien system. The kill switch was more complex than anticipated, a recursive code loop that required precise timing. As alarms blared and enemy reinforcements closed in, Mira executed the protocol. The station shuttered. Power grids failed across multiple sectors of the Extinction Fleet. Chaos erupted. With enemy systems crippled, our fleet surged forward. Strike cruisers tore through the disoriented forces, reclaiming lost ground. The tide was turning. On the bridge, I watched the stars burn with renewed hope. "This is the spark," I said. "From these flames, a new humanity will rise." But victory was only the beginning. The war and the mysteries had only deepened. The kill switch had blinded much of the Extinction Fleet, but it had also unleashed chaos within our ranks. Sabotage wasn't just external, it thrived inside. EVA detected encrypted comms from unknown origins, hinting at a sleeper faction embedded in our fleet. Vile confronted me on the bridge. "They're ghosts among us. We must find them before they finish what they started." I tightened my grip on the console. This war will be won with fire, or consumed by it. A covert hunt began. Crews were monitored. Security protocols heightened. Trust became currency as fragile as the air we breathed. In the shadows, traitors whispered and schemed. The battle was no longer only against the extinction fleets, but for the very soul of humanity's last hope. EVA's cold voice broke the silence. "New threat detected in maintenance sectors. Intrusion level, critical. Deeper within the ship, in hidden compartments, we found encrypted files left by Dr. Corrin herself. Plans for a secret weapon called the Architect, a device capable of rewriting matter on a quantum level, turning stars into weapons or sanctuaries. Vielle and I debated its use. "The Architect could end the war," he said, "or end us all." I stared at the schematics. "We need to control it before they do." We charted a course for a dark nebula, rumored to hold the remnants of an ancient research facility tied to the Architect. The nebula's radiation-distorted sensors and scrambled communications, forcing us to rely on EVA's adaptive algorithms. The crew braced as the ship slipped into the abyss, unknown dangers lurking in the shadows of dying stars. Emerging from the nebula, we found it, a colossal structure drifting in the void, shielded and dormant. EVA began remote scans, revealing active power cores and signs of recent activity. Val led a boarding party to investigate. Inside, corridors hummed with forgotten energy, and walls whispered secrets of a war older than any history recorded. The past was alive, and it was waiting for us. The boarding party's lights cut through decades of darkness inside the lost facility. Ancient consoles flickered, revealing star charts and battle logs from a war no one alive had seen. Among the files, encrypted directives labeled Project Architect pulsed faintly. Vael's voice crackled over comms. This technology, it's unlike anything we've encountered. It could shift the balance of the entire war. We decrypted fragments of a long-lost conflict between humanity and unknown adversaries, beings who wielded reality itself as a weapon. The extinction fleets were only one front in a far larger, more terrifying battle. I stood on the bridge, eyes locked on the holographic map. We're fighting shadows of a war that never ended. Back on the ship, engineers integrated recovered tech into the architect's core systems. The device shimmered with potential energy, quantum arrays capable of reconstructing matter and energy on unprecedented scales. But with power came danger. EVA warned, systems instability detected. Improper use could cause catastrophic failure. As we struggled to stabilize the architect, the traitor struck again. Critical systems sabotaged, communications jammed. The saboteur's identity finally revealed. A trusted officer who believed humanity's survival required joining the extinction fleets, not fighting them. I confronted him in the command deck. You chose extinction over survival. His cold gaze met mine. I chose the future. One without your war. The ship trembled as the architect reached critical mass. We faced a choice. Unleash its power and risk destruction, or hide it and remain prey. I called the crew to the bridge. We either become architects of our destiny, or fall as ghosts. The engines roared, an echo of Earth's defiance as we made our decision. We activated the architect. Reality warped as quantum arrays ignited, bending space and matter to our will. The ship trembled under the immense power, but EVA maintained control with surgical precision. Outside, the void shimmered as fragments of dead stars coalesced into weapons of unimaginable force. We had become gods of destruction, or salvation. Our first strike hit the heart of an extinction fleet stronghold. Nanoforges swarmed enemy ships, dismantling them from within, while strike cruisers unleashed precision bombardments. Communications jammed. Enemy morale shattered. The galaxy's killers had met their match. As we advanced, visions haunted the crew. Echoes of Earth's lost cities, whispered memories of ancestors. Some saw hope, others despair. I stood before the fleet, voice steady. We carry Earth's soul, not just as memory, but as a weapon and a beacon. We are the flame that burns in the void. With each victory, the fleet grew. Planets liberated, alliances forged in fire and blood. Our enemies fragmented, their control slipping through grasping claws, but power attracted attention. Ancient entities, watchers beyond comprehension, stirred. The war was no longer just ours. A colossal ship appeared at the edge of known space, its presence bending reality. A voice echoed through comms, not human, not machine, a warning. Cease or be unmade. The balance must be preserved. The crew shuddered. The war had awakened forces older than extinction fleets. I gripped the console. We fight not just for survival, but for the right to exist at all. The Watcher's ship loomed, an impossible monolith warping stars around it. Our sensors struggled to penetrate its hull, technology beyond comprehension. EVA struggled, but I refused to back down. We face an enemy older than extinction itself, I told the crew, but we carry Earth's fire. We fight. A communication attempt reached us, not hostile, but cryptic. The Watchers spoke of balance, of cosmic order disrupted by our war. Vael urged caution. We're pawns in a larger game. I responded firmly. We are survivors. We choose our fate. The saboteur's network revealed a deeper conspiracy. Others within the fleet aligned with the Watcher's vision. A civil war ignited aboard Vanguard Prime, threatening to tear us apart. I called the crew to arms. If we fall here, all is lost. Stand with me. Trust shattered. Divisions grew. Battles erupted in corridors and virtual space. EVA worked tirelessly to maintain order, but the ship groaned under internal strife. I stood firm. We fight the enemy outside and the darkness within. In the crucible of conflict, a new bond was forged. The loyal united to purge the saboteurs. Vile and I led the charge, reclaiming command. The fleet's engines roared, stronger, defiant. We had survived the storm within. Now, the war outside awaited. The fleet rallied, battle-scarred but unbroken. Our strike cruisers moved as one, precision weapons crafted in the fires of betrayal and hope. EVA recalibrated defenses, anticipation heavy in the air. I addressed the fleet. We are the vanguard, not just of humanity but of a future no one else dared imagine. Reports came in of a shadow fleet. Vessels cloaked, moving unseen through space. They struck supply lines, severing lifelines. We had no intel on their origins or allegiance. Vile's voice was grim. They use our tactics against us. We prepared countermeasures, determined to root out this new threat. The Shadow Fleet's attacks escalated into a silent war, ghost ships appearing and vanishing like phantoms. Our sensors were useless. Every engagement was a gamble. I ordered an experimental AI drone swarm, designed to mimic our enemy's cloaking tech. If you can't see them, become them. The Shadow Fleet finally struck the Vanguard itself. A breach in the hull, alarms blared. EVA deployed emergency teams while I coordinated defense. Amid the chaos, a lone figure moved through the shadows, an assassin with motives unknown. The assassin was captured, revealing a startling truth. They were a defector from the extinction fleets sent to sabotage us from within. But their reason was more complex than hatred, a warning of a greater threat coming from the void's edge. I faced the crew. The enemy is not just out there, it's coming. Scans picked up a massive energy surge beyond mapped space, a black star pulsing with unknown power. The greatest threat yet. The extinction fleets had feared it. Now, so did we. I stood on the bridge, voice steady. We face the abyss, but humanity's flame burns brightest in darkness. In desperation, we sent envoys to former enemies, forging shaky alliances. Vial negotiated with alien factions once thought extinct or hostile. The galaxy's fate depended on unity. Suspicion simmered beneath every word, but survival demanded cooperation. The void erupted into chaos as fleets clashed around the Black Star. Weapons flared, ships tore through space in a deadly ballet. Vanguard Prime led the charge, powered by the Architect. The war for all existence had reached its zenith. Victory came at a terrible price. Ships lost, crews sacrificed. The Black Star shattered, but so did part of our fleet. I mourned every life, knowing the war was far from over, but we had won a future. The void cleared, stars brightened. Humanity's flag rose once more among the constellations. We were no longer ghosts or ashes. We were architects of a new empire. I stood at the helm, voice steady. This is not the end, it's the beginning. The human fleet will burn forever. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.